Meet Scott.
Hey everybody, Scott Dion Brown here with some very exciting news. I'm going to be the host of a brand new show coming your way this November. I'll be sitting down with artists, musicians, actors, and all sorts of other creative people for an exciting hour that's not to be missed. So tune in to The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, live on Crosswave Radio every Sunday at 11 a.m. starting November 4th. I'll see you soon.
Scott Dion Brown, the newest member of the MCBN family.
This radio station is all about music and lots of talking with sense. Brace yourself. Listen live everywhere, anytime. Broadcasting via World Wide Web. www.crosswaveradio.com. The future of radio. Others run out of power. We don't.
Crosswave.
The right hit music mix.
We would like to express that the opinions, views, comments, and suggestions of the host in this program are purely their own and do not reflect those of Pinoy Radio. The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, a musical talk show with in-studio guest performers and interesting program features, anchored by the man with many titles: musician, producer, actor, director, YouTuber, filmmaker. Well, the list is long because he's the man and more. So friends, Canadians, ladies and gentlemen, your Sunday midday fun starts here. Welcome to The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
All right, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to the first ever episode of The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. And I'm joined here by my amazing co-host, the one and only Regina Lena.
Hey guys, hope you're having a great Sunday morning so far.
Has everyone had their coffee?
Yes, I've had 2 cups.
Yeah, I had to get mine to get started this morning. But this is exciting. Regina, are you nervous?
No, not at all. I was born for this.
I was also born for this. I'm honestly a little bit nervous myself.
Don't be. I'll
It's the
feed
first
my
episode.
energy off of you. Don't worry.
But I thought since we're starting new, this is our first time. Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Dion Brown. And I thought I'd introduce myself first before we get it all started. So that was the first time I've heard that intro.
It's a great intro. They got you covered. I don't think you need
covered.
to introduce yourself anymore.
But yeah, I'm Scott Dion Brown. I'm an actor here in Toronto, born and raised in the city of Toronto, Canada. And I'm half Filipino. My mom is from Manila, and her family came here when she was a teenager. And she met my dad, and then they had me, and now here I am. Scott Dion Brown. I'm an actor, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a singer-songwriter, and once a week for an hour every Sunday, starting today, I'm also a radio show host here on the Sit Down radio show.
Is there anything you don't do, Scott?
I don't know how to weld, and there are many things, but I wear a few hats, depending on what we're doing. And now, Regina Lena, please introduce yourself. Who are you?
I am Regina Lena. Some of you may have seen me doing pageants since 2010 here in Toronto. Started with the PIDC, made my way all the way to Miss Universe Canada, and working on a project right now. I'm also an event coordinator. I do corporate, I do socials, I do birthdays, I do them all. And I pageant coach on the side, and now I'm your co-host.
Amazing. Regina Lena, everybody. Welcome. Where did we meet at...
You know what? I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, how did I meet you?
Yeah.
We just met,
For one of the pageants?
Filipino events. I think we did a fashion show together. Maybe not.
In the beginning? Was I already... So for people who don't know, I was also once upon a time part of the pageant world.
Once upon a time?
Once upon a time. Well,
Once upon a time, still raining.
Well, yeah. So I started joining I joined the Mr. Philippines PIDC pageant. And I was fortunate enough to win. I got a crown. No, actually, no, I didn't get a crown.
You got a sash.
Only the girls get a crown.
You got a sash.
Unfair, I think.
You want mine?
That's okay.
Maybe next week I'll bring
Actually,
it
yes, I do. I do want your crown. Yeah, no, it's okay. But so they gave me a sash. And so I was Mr. Philippines for that year. And it was fun. I got to, go to events with the Miss Philippines of that year. And we went to different events. And we, went to parades and waved at people and do all the things that you do. But then the following year...
It never happened again.
Yeah, so the way it works right with pageants, and Regina, you would know about this, is so you're the reigning Miss or Mr. whatever you are, whatever the pageant is for that year. And then the following year, you do like your final walk, and then you pass the crown over.
Exactly.
But in my case... The following year, they didn't have the Mr. Philippines pageant again.
Maybe you should bring it back and dethrone you.
I vote no. But yeah, so the thing is, the following year, they were like, oh yeah, Scott, there's not going to be a Mr. Philippines pageant this year, but we'd still like somebody to
Represent.
and also to escort the Miss Philippines. So why don't you come back and do it for another year? And I was like, okay, fine. So they made me a new sash, and the new sash had no year on it, and they haven't had the pageant since. So that's right, I am still now
Mr.
and forever the reigning Mr. Philippines PIDC.
Fun fact, you guys. I bet you didn't know that.
You will never take my sash from me. But yeah, so that's who I am, Scott Dion Brown, Regina Elena. Hello.
Hi.
And here we are on the sit down with Scott Dion Brown. And I would like to acknowledge our two title sponsors for this episode.
And they're actually here.
And they're here right now. So let's say hello to Jennifer C. and Tracy Saimeka. Hello.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
And why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Tell us a bit about yourselves. And first of all, thank you guys for being our title sponsors here today.
Yes, thank you so much.
So Jennifer and I are a team. We are a real estate agent and a mortgage agent. So we work together
They go
to help
hand in
you
hand.
get your mortgage and buy your first property, your second property, whatever real estate needs you need. Leasing, anything you need, right?
That's right.
We are a team. And we're proud to be here as sponsors for you guys. This sounds like a great show every Sunday. I'm excited to listen to it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your support, and thank you for being here today.
We wouldn't be here without them.
Literally, we wouldn't. Yeah. And yeah, Jennifer, would you like to introduce yourself as well? Say hello.
Oh,
She was. I just dropped it on. Hey, by the way, Jennifer. By the way, give us a speech. Yeah, say hello.
hi, yes, say hi, everybody. I'm happy to, Tracy and I are happy to sponsor this show. I think it's going to be a talk of the town.
No pun
Right.
intended.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the launch of the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown and Regine, co-host
Regina Elena.
Alina.
Regina Elena. So let's give
Thank
a
you.
round of applause for our title sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here we are, the sit down with Scott Dion Brown. What is the sit down? Well, half of it is we're here sitting down, but there's more to it than that. What I want this show to be is we're going to meet and we're going to interview and talk with creative, interesting people, artists, actors, singers,
Pageant girls.
and everything. Anybody that's just interesting with a cool story to tell. And today's episode, we've got three fantastic artists here with us today.
Yes, we do.
So let's meet them, shall we? So we have a gentleman here to my left.
Hello.
And let's introduce him. He plays under the artist name Siggy. His name is Daniel Sigismondi, stage name Siggy. He is a Italian musician who made the journey.
Yes.
Made the journey in 2014 from Italy to the city of Toronto, chasing after a musical dream. And he is starting to make a very, very large footprint in the Canadian music scene. Siggy, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, Scott. Thank you for having me. And this is my first radio, I would say. Hopefully not the last one. Like you mentioned, an Italian full-fledged, moved in 2014. This is a Sunday morning, so I won't talk too much about my personal story. But of course, heart needs struggle to be real, and that is exactly what I'm about. So I actually performed some gigs in Toronto with Scott.
Yes.
The many things that he does. He actually plays with me, and
I'm the guitarist in Siggy music.
and an excellent back vocal singer too. So yes, as mentioned, the travel it's not end yet. I just released a new track called Truth. Everything is basically connecting now to this big picture. That is my goal, to bring some music, honest music, and make people dance. And I believe that Toronto has a beautiful scene, as this radio show. This is beautiful, a nice platform where people like me can talk about their arts and their music. So thank you for having me again. And I can wait to actually to listen some of this music that I'm telling you about.
Thank you for being here, Siggy. Thank you. Now, on my other side here, we have an actress, a model, a singer, and a dancer. She's also a black belt in Taekwondo, so don't
piss her off.
mess with her.
That was a nice twist.
Yeah. She has appeared in TV, in film, commercials, and theater, and she's worked in Toronto, and as well as in Los Angeles, California. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Athena Park.
Hi, everyone. everyone. Yeah. One of the reasons, this is my first radio show. I'm really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Great. It's an entire everybody. It's first for everybody. Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And one of the reasons I mostly do acting, and one of the reasons why I started acting is because there's a musical at our show at our school, and it really, I was in grade 4, and it was mostly for like the grade 8s and grade 9s, and I really wanted to be part of it, and the teacher that was hosting it was just like, hey, we'll open it up to everyone like in elementary school and all that, and I was just like, yeah, sure, whatever, I'll try it out, and everyone made it like in grade 8 and 9, and I was the only grade 4 there that actually got in.
Wow.
And I was so honored to like have that role, and it was actually one of the big parts. It was Snow White, and I was like the evil witch, and it was like really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Note to self: don't take apples from her.
An evil witch that can kick your.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here.
No problem. Thank you.
And our final guest here today.
She actually has something in common with the two of us.
That's also true.
Yeah, we both started as PIDC, and she is
from the pageant world. But she's an 18-year-old singer-songwriter. She previously held the title of Miss Philippines PIDC 2016. She played the role of Zidel of Fiddler on the Roof at Taste of Broadway Remastered last year. And earlier this year, she guested at the Wish 107.5 FM station Philippines. This coming November 10th, she will be opening for One Magical Night with Daniel Padilla, Catherine Bernardo, Elmo Magalona, and Janela Salvador, Wacky, and Negi. Ladies and gentlemen, Celine Gray, thank you for being here.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I just wanted to say congratulations to the both of you. I'm so excited for the both of you.
Thank you.
And like everyone here, I'm also passionate about music. I started at a very young age, and from there, I think I started at Broadway, and then in high school I did Broadway too, and we did lots of Broadway shows, and then again I ended up getting the role as Saito on Fiddler on the Roof, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Now I'm here, and I'm trying to explore the music industry as well, and hopefully it goes well for me.
And I think it has been. I've seen your Instagram, been following you. You're doing it.
Thank you.
So we've got 3 fantastic musicians here.
You included, so 4.
Okay, thank you.
Why not? Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, that's good. I don't know. It would have been weird for me to be like, we've got 3 fantastic musicians, including another fantastic musician, if I may say so myself. But let's talk about music a little bit. Like, so each of you guys, I know you're starting to write your own songs.
Yeah.
Do you write songs as well, or
I'm planning to start writing my own songs. Yes.
Sweet. I don't know, Siggy, you do as well.
Definitely, yes.
So when you want to create something, I guess if you guys can weigh in any way you want. When you want to write a new song, how do you guys start? Where does it come from?
Well, I guess the less you try to write it, the better. So either you have an idea where you want to go, and that fits with your mood. The more you're honest with your arts, the better. So specifically into the songwriting, which is a craft that anybody is absolutely unique about. It can be. So I don't believe when you write a new song, I don't believe that all the people that are around you, they go, oh well, we don't like that, and so it's your fault. No, it's your fault, guys, if you don't like my art. But eventually, it's always to the person. So if you wish that your music is, the people listen to your music, then you need to be able to write it in a way where everybody understands that. It can be too private, but if you want it to be private, that's okay. So it really depends on your goals, right? Your genre. To me, I want to make people dance, and music is my entire life. I started when I was 14 years old in Italy. Always had to work very hard. And so everything was always a struggle for me, music-wise. When I moved in Toronto, the music didn't change, so it was tough to get my permits to be able to stay. So when you're honest with that, so the thing is, there's no method, but if you're honest with that, and you can recognize that you're good at it, then be okay with it and be happy and enjoy it, because you're gonna get somewhere.
Absolutely. What do you guys? How do you approach creating new art or new music?
Yeah, I would just say, like, express yourself. I mean, I know that sounds like cliche and all, but, like, seriously, like, take those 2 words for literal. Like, write down what you want. I mean, like, I haven't created any songs yet, but I would really say, as you said, like, write down what you want and, yeah, just do what you want.
Yes.
Celine?
I think it's like really how you feel. It's like
Pull the mic a little closer to yourself there.
sorry.
There you go.
It's like your emotion. So I feel like if you really feel like, especially with love songs, if you feel something and you can relate to something, it's easier to write music towards that, a situation that you've been through. So, and you can connect with the audience more if you feel the song and the lyrics.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I found for the longest time when I write my own songs, for the very longest time, I didn't put a lot of emphasis on the lyrics themselves. For me, a lot of the time, the importance came from the music itself, the actual arrangements, and I always used to focus almost entirely on that. And I mean, I like what you said about almost the less harder you try, especially for that initial hook. Like for me, I found the shower was great for me because I'll just be in the shower and then I'll find myself humming something, some riff or something like some melody, and I find if I'm still humming that melody, you know, a few days later, then I go, you know, that's probably catchy because I can't get it out of my head.
Yes.
And but then the thing that changed, so I wrote the music, and then the lyrics were kind of an afterthought. And it wasn't until I remember I was talking with somebody, one of my friends who listens to the music and puts a lot of emphasis on the lyrics. And then it occurred to me that because when I listen to music, I don't usually even really pay that much attention to the lyrics, and I guess that's why it was never that important to me. But then I realized how much the lyrics affect certain people, and that kind of changed the entire process for me in a lot of ways, because suddenly they're taking not just for me it's more how does the song make me feel, but the lyrics in and of themselves have their own impact. So that's pretty cool.
The cherry on the cake, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I can even relate to that. I can only just dance.
And I guess depending on how you listen to music, the cherry is different for different people. Some people, the cherry on the cake is the melody, and they've just got these lyrics. And other people, the cherry is the lyrics. So it changes. Speaking of songwriting and new songs, you've brought us a song. We're gonna listen to one of your songs.
Yes,
and,
yes, actually released on September 25th. Truth, which is a part of a concept album that is coming out next year. And you are gonna work Scott Dion Brown. The many things that he did. I got a pleasure to meet the guy a while back, since actually I moved in Toronto. And I got introduced to him, and I had the pleasure to work with him for some music videos, other than recordings, other than performing together. So the chemistry, it's to me, it's the most important thing. So that's why he's going to take care of the Truth video as well.
Yeah, I'll be directing the music video for this.
You'll be directing it, and I'm very excited because it's part of a concept album, 5 tracks. We all know that albums are a little too old school for this years. So instead having a single, the best halfway for me will be an EP. So the EP will be a human touch, reflecting some of the weird time that we're living in, and Truth is the 4th track. Of course, talking about truth, and of course, it's very subjective.
Yep.
And here it's coming in.
So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the World Internet Radio debut of Truth by Siggy.
Yeah, this track is recorded at Desert Fish Studios, produced by Jeff Wolpert, and it was a great experience. Like I said, nothing for free, but it's not even about money. It's about what you want to end up with, where you want your image to, how you want your image to represent you. So this is it. For the first time, I recorded tracks with using brass section, which is a beautiful thing because horns and keyboards and guitars and bass. Everywhere, and you can get some inspiration. That's what I had. Very different from my previous work. That was more like electronic. But here it is, a little more acoustic. We're back to it.
All right, here it is. Truth. Good way to kill time. You had some technical difficulties there, but here we go now. Here we go.
if you care. Tell me if you understand why this going on. No, reach me if you can. Tell me if you wanna bend why this going on. Should I take this time? Should I take you away? Taking out the line, 'cause I don't care tonight. Oh, you girl, like it makes you feel so strong. Loving you and just the one moment will make you get up. Only you know what is going on. You're the only one. Get up, tell me all about, and I'll let you spell it out. When there's nobody around. Should I take the time? Should I take you away? Taking out the line, 'cause I don't care tonight. Like it makes you feel so strong. Loving you and just the one moment will make you get up. You girl, like it makes you feel so strong. Loving you and just the one moment will make you get up.
You're tuned to The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
High five, mga kababayan, because we have 5 free round-trip tickets to be given away from Canada to Philippines and back to Canada. Mula sa iRemit and iRemit X. Napaka-effortless to join. For every valid remittance, you get 1 electronic ticket for a maximum of 8 qualified remittances during the promo period from September to December 31, 2018 only. Open to all walk-in, phone-in, and agent remitters with iRemit Visa card, bank-to-bank, pickup, and door-to-door remittances. Kaya mag-iRemit! May ngiti sa bawat padala!
Sa pagdiriwang ng ikalawang dekadang pamamayagpag sa bansa bilang pinakamabentang sasakyan, Action Honda, Canada's best-selling car. Aming pinakikilala ang bagong Civic SE with new lower down payment. 2018 Civic LX Sedan or step up to new 2018 Civic SE. And there's this all-new 2018 Accord LX and 2018 CR-V LX. The car you trusted, the car you know. Gives you the latest models, the features you love. Brand new year, brand new car. 0 down payment, 0 security deposit. Well, need I say more? Keep those fingers working now. 416-281-1234. But it would be best if you come see Paeng Yepes at 4334 Kingston Road. Kabayan, let's make it happen. Action Honda, Honda for all. It's awe-inspiring. It's overwhelming. Black Diamond Event Management. Kusina ng ating bahay, Bayview Financial Incorporated in association with TFC, Mystique Mix Creative International at Kabalen proudly present One Magical Night, November 10th, an exceptionally special Saturday evening with the love teams of today's silver screen: Catherine Bernardo, Daniel Padilla, Janela Salvador, Elmo Magalona. It's a weekend of awe dahil kasama dito si Waki Kiray at ang positibong si Neki. One Magical Night, November 10th, Toronto Pavilion. Be there early. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. Show starts at 6:30 in the evening. Gusto mag-access pass? Grab one now. Your official media partner of One Magical Night, MCBN Media Group. Ang panahon ng pagbibigayan at pagmamahalan ay naglalapit na naman. Dahil per months na, dapat na nating paglaanan. Lalo pa kung kompleto ang buong angkan.
Are you selling your home or buying one? Gee, you need help fast. Talk about mortgages, real estate, and everything along that line? Gee, you gotta have assistance. Her name is synonymous to acquiring your dream home fast. Selling? It's still her. Call direct. 416-684-6442 and look for G. Sell. Your reliable realtor. G. Sell. Giselle Minasol of Remax Realty, Kingston Road, Ontario. Send your inquiries to giselleminasol@gmail.com.
Time to take the weight off your feet and find out who's on the hot seat on the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And so this segment is brought to you by Cecile's Line Dance class. Line dancing with a twist. They have all ages classes from beginners to an advanced level. And they're fantastic.
They're really good. I've seen them do their thing, and oh my goodness, it gets me wanting to line dance too.
So if you want to also do some line dancing, get in touch with Cecile Barrientos at 647-215-3013.
Yes.
And check out Cecile's line dance class. It's also, this next segment is also brought to you by Jewelry Forever. Jewelry Forever.
They are located in the Markville Shopping Center.
The CF Markville at 5000 Highway 7 East. They have custom-made jewelry, repairs, and watch batteries, all done on site. So please check out Jewelry Forever at Markville Shopping Center.
I like jewelry, so if anyone wants to get me, no, I'm kidding.
You can pick some up for Regine.
Christmas is coming.
So thank you to our advertisers. And if you would like to advertise, please get in touch with us, and we'd love for you to support us, and we'll set you up. So get in touch with us. We're on social media, and get in touch at the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. So welcome back, everybody. Truth. That was the world internet radio premiere of Truth by Siggy Music. Great song.
And he's right. It got me dancing, and I'm sure everyone else in the studio was like bobbing their head to it.
Yeah, positivity first, and then maybe nice lyrics and then nice movements.
Mm-hmm.
So that song was that was a big production. I mean, you guys could hear horns. There was multiple obviously full band instrumental, it's a big show.
Yes, but it's not as as synthetic as it could be. It's an actual drums, actual percussions, actual work behind it, produced by Jeff Wolpert at Desert Fish Studios in Toronto, which is the guy worked with Aretha Franklin, James Brown in the 80s, and he's taking care of the OLP. So I'm very happy that you guys I had a chance to stream it now since I released it, which was September 25th. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate
that
it.
was amazing.
And yeah, I gotta say, like I said, there's the horn section, and everything. So I play obviously guitar with you.
You do.
And when we play that song, in fact, the whole show, but it's really a big production. It really gets the whole audience moving.
I need to go to one of your shows.
Oh yeah, you should. You'll have a lot of you'll have a lot of that happening to you.
So speaking of performing, because I know we talked a little bit about songwriting before the break, but for me anyway, performing is a completely different. I don't know. It's not even like the same sport. I mean, songwriting is one thing, and it involves. It's more personal, and you're over here. You're spending hours late up at night. But performing is something else completely different. How do you guys? What is performance for you? What do you get out of performing?
Well, one thing I get out of performing is it's really an experience just to be up there and performing in front of people and really moving them. I mean, when I watch somebody myself, I feel amazing because it's so much. different from when you just, when you just listen to it, because you see it. You actually see somebody having emotions, and it's really cool that way. I find it really cool.
When I perform, I don't know, like, I just feel like I can connect with the audience, and you get to express your feelings and, relate with the audience, and then it just feels good, because, like, performing is, like, it's your passion, and you just feel good about doing something you love, and it's just great, yeah.
But it has to be back and forth, no? Don't you think? When you perform, you might find people that are a little harder to drive to your goals and or to your feelings. So it has to be a back and forth. That's one thing that this year's sometimes I feel they're taking away too much screens in between us and less conversation, but I feel that live music is one of the fewer things that they're left for us to connect properly between one another. So even there, if you're not good at what you're doing, people won't follow you. So you got to be good at it.
Yeah, it's a very, yeah, you're right. The live performance, it's a two-way street between the audience and the crowd. That's why I'm really not a fan. Like I've been to concerts where the singer's not actually singing, and I think, yeah, where they lip sync,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I don't like it because I think it kind of, part of it is the performer is influenced by the audience, and the audience is influenced by the performer. So
has to, yeah.
If the performer's not actually singing themselves, then there's no chance for that really to occur.
Yes, there's no. What are you providing? Like, what are you providing to your audience? What's the reason why you're doing all that? What gets you moving?
Yeah, for me, I think it's not just. I guess the idea is that you've written this song and people are here to hear the song. But I think when people go to a live performance, they're there to do more than just listen to the music, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They want to feel the music.
They want to see somebody have the
Be part of it.
Like Bruno Mars, for instance. If you see him live, you're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's an experience.
You feel it. But then if you, like you said, if someone's lip singing and they're not really feeling that emotion, you're like, I could have watched your music video.
Yeah.
Anytime that it's just business, it's wrong,
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
But,
especially in arts.
But bringing it back to the pageant world, for instance, Celine, you would know, if you see someone competing and they're not projecting themselves, the judges are going to look at you and be like, you're just like every other girl on the street.
Yeah,
you want to make that connection with people, and you're like, look at me.
Yeah, it's a that's a performance in itself in a lot of ways, and I think that's why I've said before the songwriting part and the performing part, they're completely different. There are people who can perform, and that could be in the pageant world, it could be acting on stage, it could be singing live, and there are people that can't. And
yeah, that's true.
and so maybe you can be a great songwriter and do it that way, but I think if you're not able to really transport your audience in a way, then I don't know, maybe write your songs and somebody else can sing them live for you, I guess. But I do feel performance is its own thing. Speaking of performance, I think we're going to get some live performance here. So, Athena, you're going to sing something for us?
Yeah. I'll be singing Rolling in the Deep by Adele.
Sweet.
Whenever I'm ready? Okay.
Whenever you're ready, take it away.
The scars of your love remind me of us. They keep me thinking that we almost had it all. The scars of your love, they leave me breathless. I can't help feeling we could have had it all. Rolling in the deep, you had my heart inside your hand, and you played it to the beat.
Athena Park, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, wow. Audience is roaring. Very nice. That was, the lip syncing was amazing.
We all felt that one.
Yeah.
Oh, there. And ladies and gentlemen, that wasn't, that was just straight up a cappella singing. That was just.
That was her voice.
Live singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, how long have you been performing for or singing for?
Since I was like 8, I've always had this sort of like humming thing. Oh, I've always like wanted to perform in front of people, and like I've made some connections and all that, and I've really got to perform in front of people. Like at school, I joined like a vocal club and all that, and it's really been an experience just to see other singers around me and having that emotion, everyone else having that experience around you, and it's really nice to have that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you have a very nice voice.
Thank you.
So, what do you guys think it is about? I mean, I get all of us are performers in our own way. What do you think? What is it about it that makes us want to do it, or what is it about us that we feel the need to parade ourselves around on stage in front of people? What is it? I don't know.
I think it's like the passion. It's like the passion and the feeling. That's what it's about for me. It's just like whenever I perform, I feel good, and I feel great about sharing my talent with other people, and they enjoy it. So it's like
The mic empowers you. That's it.
yeah.
Does the
I
mic
don't
empower
know.
you?
I feel like whenever I'm singing, it's just I feel good. Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a tricky question, right? Because you want to do it because it's your passion. There are some days where you're under the weather, and you don't feel that emotional, and you don't feel that way. So of course you need to be able to judge yourself, and honestly. So because the more like to grab the point at the beginning about honesty, you got to be honest with your art. You got to be honest with yourself, because otherwise, how can you be appreciated? First of all, from when you look at yourself in the mirror and you can say, I did, the best that I could, and I had fun. That's you winning right there. So it doesn't have to be compared to what the others ever in anything, any field. It's what you feel and how. For example, we just threw a party, an Halloween party this last Wednesday, and it was, we got the keys of the place. The place really trusted me to throw this party, and through the band, I was able to throw a big party at supermarket, and it was fantastic. The reaction but I was stressed a little bit because till the end you don't know where it's gonna end up. But there was some point where I was in the washroom. I looked at myself in the mirror like, this is my night right now. I should never, whatever it turns out, it's fine because I gave my best. And that's what I do on stage every time. I try to do my best, and I'm always happy like that.
Yeah, I would say that is a very tricky question, and it's sort of an urge to perform in front of people. Like you have a passion and you want to show other people what you can do. Like it's sort of. Yeah, it's an urge. Like
it's addicting.
Yeah, it's very addicting.
It's very similar to pageants. With me, like I was like, you know what? I'm gonna retire. I'm on a hiatus. I'm done. Just kidding. I'm making my way back into the pageant. Like you get addicted to the stage. You get addicted to the attention, I guess. It drives you.
There's that too. It's probably really a rush. It really music, heart. It really act like, I don't know if I may say that, but like a drug in a way, because you can be exposed to that rush maybe that night, but then to get it back, it might take 15 other gigs, and then the 15th gig later, then you feel that same rush, and you feel that you're charged for other 8 months.
Oh yeah, it's true.
And that's it. That's all about it. But it's always up to us to how we take it, no matter how good or bad the gig was. It's up to us and the fact that we gave our best, not for other reasons that to give the best.
Yeah, you definitely get something out of it. I still remember the first time. I'm trying to remember the name of the bar. I think it was called Riley's. It was the venue it was like the Ryerson pub near Yonge and Dundas. There was a show that I played there, and it was the first time when I felt that feeling that I had the audience in my hands.
And how did you feel?
It was a rush is the right word. Like in that moment, like I remember up until that point, I hadn't been playing for that long at that point, and for the longest time I would sort of, I'm up there playing the songs, but I was almost nervous about the audience a little bit. I would have to do things like look over the audience. Like I was scared to kind of look directly at anyone, right? But at this show, I noticed that they were all there, and I actually in that moment I like stepped up onto the actual monitor itself, and just
enjoyed it.
Right? And I just felt that there was this thing happening where it's when you're dealing with an audience. I almost look at them now. You're not dealing with individual people. An audience is it's its own thing. It's its own animal.
Definitely.
And
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so now when you get up there, I just love. It's almost like you're commanding the sea or something.
Yes. Back and forth though. Still.
Yeah.
They have a huge part. People that want to go out and listen to some music, they have more responsibility that they probably think. Yeah. Because if you go up to a concert and you want to see some live music, but then you glue to your phone, the artists notice that. nobody wants to play in front of phones anyway. So it's and again, it's up to the guy. It's up to your passion, your strength, to take that away from Dan, because what you're doing is better. So in that moment when you took charge of it, and you actually, from nervousness or fear, it became your strength.
Yeah.
And that's where I think we're going to again. It's the strength and to do it honestly.
Absolutely.
And it's fun.
And it's fun. That's the other thing, yeah. I mean, it's fun. The big answer to the question, what is it about it? Why do we need to perform?
It's fun.
It's fun. That's
well,
all.
that's true. When people are like, Celine, why do you do pageants? Scott, why did you do a pageant? Regine, why did I do a pageant?
Why did you?
Because it's fun.
That's fun.
No, that is true. I mean, because one thing about it is, like, for me to get up on stage, and you guys all do the same, you know, we enjoy doing it, but there are people who, I mean, the prospect of getting in front of a group of people and becoming, that's terrifying for a lot of people, I think.
Yes.
And so, I mean, yeah, the fact that we enjoy it and we get something out of it, that is why.
Yes.
Exactly. Because it's fun.
And now, speaking of performing, are you able to, Celine, are you able to?
Yeah, are you going to play the guitar?
What do we need?
Plug.
Oh, there's a cable. Yeah, there was a cable in the top of the case. Okay, we'll get that sorted out. So you get that. So Celine is going to perform for us in a few moments.
Yeah.
But actually, you know what? Can we play another one? Let's play another one of Siggy's songs. Can we do that?
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
We're gonna perform. We're gonna not perform. We're going to play a song for you guys called "Devil on My Shoulder."
Oh yeah, it's from the latest EP, the first EP in Toronto, actually.
And the music video for this one is available online as well.
Yes, of course you can find everything under Siggy Music, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and this specific song was recorded, actually, Scott recorded it. And then I got, this was the beginning, and it really helped my, my status, my image and everything, so.
He launched you.
Yeah, we can definitely.
We launched
each other, but after almost 3 years, we're still here, and I don't think we want to go back to anything that we did before. So yes, if you want to check it out, definitely "Devil on My Shoulder," another kind of a concept video where you have.
It's almost more of a film than a video, than a music video.
Yes, yes.
Search Siggy Music on YouTube and watch the video. It's a lot of fun, and subscribe to his channel as well.
Yeah, we've tagged him on our Instagram, so be sure to follow us.
Perfect. And as well as and we're gonna plug everybody's because I want you guys all to follow. But anyway, here he is, "Devil on My Shoulder" from Siggy.
Cold, cold eyes upon you tonight. The more time flies, the she you wanna find. It's all about you, being scared to lose your flight. Sometimes I wanna really know what's in your mind. Rock and roll pumped out in this empty house. Like you don't remember, but your messed up videos files. So you keep it again, not just waiting to get older. And for once, turning on the devil on your shoulder. I'm sure you can drag me down. Oh, I believe in your eyes. Oh, I bet you try to push the Lord with me. Shoot me like a king, I believe. And I'm riding, standing, looking at the mirror on the wall, realizing I might have want to blame after all, 'cause I'm talking to myself, and that is not so hard to get what's going on. What else would feel so wrong? I'm sure you can drive me down. Oh, I believe in your eyes. Oh, I bet you try to push the Lord with me. Shoot me like a king, I believe. goes on its way. And where is it gonna get me? Just don't know, but I got feelings if it means, yeah. I'm sure you can drive me home, and I'll believe in your life. But you try to put some love in me. Treat me like a king.
All right, that was Devil on My Shoulder by Siggy.
Who else was dancing? Because I was.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, you got to go to a Siggy music show because you'll dance.
If you guys want to dance, then yes, probably in December. We'll see. Probably a spring tour. Lots of things going on. So thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. All right, so
Speaking of shows,
we're gonna have a show right here, Celine. All right, we got some technical things sorted out. We had to find a cable for the guitar.
So I'm gonna be singing one of my favorite OPM songs. I actually sang it on the Wish Bus, so
oh my God,
you guys enjoy it.
So here she is, Celine Gray, ladies and gentlemen.
You're the one that never lets me sleep. To my mind, down to my soul, you touched my lips. You're the one that I can't wait to see. With you here by my side, I'm in ecstasy. I am all alone without you. My days are dark without a glimpse of you. But now that you came into my life, I feel complete. The flowers bloom, the morning shines, and I can see. Your love is like the sun that lights up my whole world. I feel the warmth inside. Your love is like the river that floats down through my veins. I feel the chill inside. Thank you.
Celine! Yay, everybody. Beautiful.
That was amazing.
And who was that on guitar?
Yeah.
He was a mystery player.
Mystery man.
Thank you, thank
beautiful.
you.
Very beautiful. He stepped in the last moment there.
Yeah.
Great job, Celine.
Thank you.
So
I
here we
love
are.
listening to her sing.
Yeah, beautiful voice.
Thank
we
you.
got three.
It actually sounded like an audio was coming through.
Yeah. Fantastic. We got three great performers here today.
Mm-hmm.
And so this final segment of the show is brought to us by two other fantastic advertisers. The first one is Intercontinental Consulting Services. And for a free assessment, they offer consultation, immigration, and settlement services. Contact them today at www.icscanadaimmigration.ca. Come to Canada. Immigrate, work, study, visit.
Come to Canada.
Intercontinental Consulting Services. Thank you very much for advertising with us. And it's also brought to you by
Canada Top Choice Charitable Foundation. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm actually the current president of Canada's Top Choice. We do everything from fundraisers. We help all of the local charities out there that some of our pageant girls choose to work with, and some that the rest of our team work with. We do pageants. We have a Miss Junior, we have a Miss Teen, we have a Miss, which I won back in 2016, and we have a Ms. So ladies of any age, of any size, if you want to do a pageant and you've always wished to, by all means, reach out to myself, Regina Lena, or Jennifer C.
Woo! Thank you very much to our advertisers.
Yes.
So we're back here on the sit down with Scott Dion Brown and
Regina Lena.
So speaking of Halloween, what was everybody for Halloween? Were you guys dressed up? Did you
dress up this year.
You didn't.
No, it was the first year I didn't dress up.
I was a mermaid at work.
Okay, that's good.
I was an alien, and my friends were the Men in Black.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I love group costumes.
Yeah, those were fun.
I was Paul Stanley from Kiss.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's good.
See the pictures.
We actually reposted that.
Yeah,
on our
and I just shared it on Twitter. In fact, speaking of that, follow the show on all the social medias. On Twitter, it is a sit down cross WAV, and that's cross with a K, KROSSWAV. And the reason it's cross WAV and not wave is because Twitter has a limit on the size of the name, so it's just cross wave without an E. And you can follow us on Instagram at, what is it? The Sit Down
Radio Show.
The Sit Down Radio
Just
Show
look
on
for
Instagram.
Scott's face.
Look for my face. And then also obviously find us on the Sit Down Radio Show with Scott Dion Brown on Facebook as well. And that's where you can find us. And please get in touch with us. One thing we really want to do is start to include our listeners in the show as well.
Yes.
We want, if you have questions for us or things you want us to talk about, please reach out. Hit us up on the hashtag SitDownCrosswave, and that's with a K. And we will definitely get it. And
one thing I know Scott and I were talking about is actually getting you guys involved on our social media, especially Instagram. Well, Fridays to Saturdays we'll be doing an Ask Me segment. Feel free to type a question, and who knows, maybe we'll ask away on the air.
And while we're at it, I want all of you guys, our guests here today, to plug your social media stuff. So why don't we just go down and start with you, Celine? Where can people find you? Where can people find you? And listeners, please follow these artists because we need you.
Currently, I'm posting a lot of covers on Instagram, so please follow my Instagram at CLNE_. Yeah.
And you can follow me, Athena Park, at It's Athena Park on Instagram, Tumblr, LinkedIn, and Facebook. That's a lot.
Do people still use Tumblr?
I don't know. My mom handles Tumblr and Facebook and LinkedIn. So I just use Instagram. And you can also find me on YouTube at Athena Park.
Oh, and yes, you can find, this is Daniel Siggy, so SIGGI, so you can relate to that, and Siggy Music for Instagram, Siggy Music Facebook, Siggy Music YouTube, Siggy Music everywhere. Can feel free to join me there.
Don't feel free, do it.
Do it.
Do it for all three of you. You are not free to not do it. Yeah, seriously.
It's worth it. Yeah, it's worth it.
Regine, where can people find you?
I'm not on YouTube, but I do listen, and I subscribe to everyone. So I will subscribe to all three of you. Or I already subscribed to you. Anyways, you can find me on Instagram. I do have where you can follow my pageant life and anything I do in the community at It's Regine Samira, SEMIRA. And on my Facebook, it's Regine Samira. Yeah.
Fantastic. And you can find me at my most favorite place to post is YouTube. So please find me on YouTube at Scott Dion Brown, DION Brown. I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers, so
let's get him to it,
let's
guys.
get me there, people. Scott Dion Brown on YouTube, and then you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as well, all under Scott Dion Brown. So please follow me and follow us all. And speaking of other important things, Athena, I understand you are involved in something called the Joey Awards that are coming up.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I got nominated for a short film called Pink Elephant that I shot in Los Angeles, and it's about a girl that just grows up and finally and finds who she really is and becomes true to herself, and it's a really cool short film, and I got nominated for that, and I'm going to Vancouver this or next weekend, I forgot, to be on the red carpet.
Wow.
Amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
That's very cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And once again, make sure you follow Athena on her social media stuff. I'm sure you'll be updating on posting stuff about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Joey Awards. Watch for Athena there.
And thank you to everyone, sorry Scott, for who is actually following us live right now on Crosswaves Radio.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys don't know, you can watch the live stream every Sunday at 11 a.m. We are live with Crosswave Radio. You can follow us on Instagram. We do tend to go live in and out of the day.
Yep.
And
and please follow like this Facebook page, facebook.com/Crosswave Radio. Also, we're starting to post quite regularly on Twitch, so twitch.tv/Crosswave Radio. And get on there. Celine, you've got a concert performance coming up, right?
So
Please let us know about it. Show the poster to one of the cameras.
Wait, where is the camera?
Which one is it? Can we get a camera on her? All right, her hand. There we go.
Okay, there it is. It's the One Magical Night. It's actually coming up. It's on November 10th. That's Toronto Pavilion. I'm gonna open for Daniel Padilla, Catherine Bernardo, Janela Salvador, Elmo Magalona, and Wacky and Naggy. They're like popular artists in the Philippines, very prominent in the industry. Awesome. So this is a really big opportunity for me, and I hope you guys can watch. I'm pretty sure we're sold out on VIP tickets. So, yeah, we only have a few golds left. So
get those golds.
Yeah,
Get
so
it.
if you want to buy tickets, go visit omn.bdem.ca.
Get your golden tickets, guys.
Yeah.
I've got a golden.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Fantastic. So, one thing. So, I know you're on YouTube quite a bit as well.
Yes.
As well. You did a spicy noodle challenge a little while ago.
Yes, I did.
So I did one of those as well on my channel. So how did you find the noodles? For people who don't know, the spicy noodle challenge is a specific brand of really spicy noodles that you have to.
Is it a brand?
It's a Korean brand, but I guess because they're really spicy, people are like, let's make a challenge out of it.
Yeah. It was a little while ago, actually. Like, this is kind of an old meme, but whatever. I saw it on your channel, and it stood out to me because I did one as well. So tell me about your spicy noodle experience.
Since I'm half Korean and half Greek, my dad, I think he's back there. My dad, he was just like, since you're Korean, you have to learn how to deal with spicy food. And so it was for dinner, and he gave me like the plastic bowl, and he put it down on my the kitchen table, and I'm just like, what? And he was just like, okay, the camera's ready, and I'm just like, what? And then he opens it up, pours like the hot water in it, and he's like, eat, and I'm just like, what? And it was so spicy, I couldn't take it, and then I had a milk glass beside me because I was ready to chug that milk down. It was so spicy, I could not handle it.
Was it the ×2 or was it just the regular?
It was just the regular.
Your dad's laughing at you right now.
I think I did the ×2 one on mine. Yeah, because I did it with my friend Colin, actually my friend and keyboardist in the band Symphony of Nine. We did a race, so we had to eat whoever could eat it first. And I had no idea what to expect, so like I started eating and I was like, oh, it's like hot, the temperature-wise.
It's hot. At first it's sort of good.
It's fine. And then about 30 seconds to a minute in, suddenly you just start to feel pain, just actual pain in your mouth. And then by the end, you're like, yeah, like every time it just touches your mouth, it just hurts.
And your lips start to sting, like physically.
But see, I didn't do the challenge. I was just hungry one day. I had it in my cupboard. I'm like, let's try it, and I like it. I didn't find it too bad. The ×2 is what killed me. I was like, let's put half the packet first and see how it goes. I couldn't do it. I'm like, sorry, it's going in the garbage.
Well, that's the thing. I wonder if I would have enjoyed it. Like, if I were to just sit down and eat it.
It's good. It tastes great.
As long as you're not trying to eat it as fast as you can, right? Because then at least if you're feeling physical pain, you're not going to just keep putting it in your mouth and be like, okay, I'll have a sip of milk or whatever. But
no, I can't do spicy food.
I love spicy.
Super Italian here. I need to be able to taste afterwards.
Maybe
at least
next
a glass
week,
of water.
Scott. Maybe next week we'll bring in some spicy food and see how spicy you can take it.
I'll think about that one.
Well, speaking of next week, if you want to be a part of our show, whether it be as a guest, as an advertiser, feel free to reach us on our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, you name it.
Yes, please. We really do want our audiences to be involved. And so now we've got just one more segment left. And this is a special segment that we're going to do. I think it's going to be a regular segment that we have on the show here. So, like me, myself, and I know there are many Filipinos or children of Filipinos who, they grew up in the Western world. So I was born and raised here. And so I don't actually speak Tagalog. And I wish I did, but I don't. My mom and dad spoke English to each other. And but I would like to learn. So what I thought is every week here, we're going to just learn one phrase of Tagalog. And that way, by the end, as you listen to the show, by the end of it, you're gonna be fluent.
Well, I'm self-taught. So
okay, perfect. So you can help me. But,
no.
So this is Learn Tagalog with Scott Dion Brown. And this week's phrase, and good, you don't obviously speak Tagalog, so
no, I do. I'm fluent. Yeah.
Oh, he's So our phrase today is
phrase of the week.
Gusto
Gusto.
kupo
Kupo.
ng gatas.
Nangaras.
Dad,
Which
you want
means-
milk?
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, it means I want milk, right?
Yeah.
So, gusto kupo ng gatas, ladies and gentlemen. I want milk.
So next week I'll bring you a glass of milk instead.
Yes, and here's the thing. Gatas means milk. So theoretically, you could say gusto kupo ng
Whatever it is.
right? So there you go, everybody. Now, everybody listening, you now speak one phrase. So make sure you tune in next week for the next phrase.
And if you have any suggestions for phrases that you want Scott to speak, hit us up on Instagram.
Hit us up. All right, well, guys, we're going to wrap up the show here. Thank you, guys, to our guests.
Thank
guys
you.
for being here.
Thank you to our sponsors.
Yes, thank you to our title sponsors, Jennifer C. and Oriana Financial, Tracy Simeka. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
It's a
this
great
was,
show.
Yes, thank you. This was the Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown, Regina Elena, my co-host. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Have a great week.
That's it for today, folks. The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown. If you think 60 minutes is not enough, well, you better catch us again next week, because it is not just about music or pure talk. It's your weekend pastime. And witness the next riffy of your time episode of the program right here on Crosswave Radio. The Sit Down with Scott Dion Brown.
Very exciting news. I'm going to be the host of a brand new show coming your